Hi everyone, Matthew Donovan here. This video is a little late, but I wanted to post it. Better late than never is what they always say. So this is the January update for my 2017 resolutions. We're nearing the end of February now, so in a couple of days I will have the February one up, but January comes first, so that needs to happen. So I have my list here of my resolutions. So the first resolution is improve the languages that I already know and start working on a new one. So what did I do in January? In January, if you follow along on my YouTube channel, you will know that I started learning Czech. In the month of January, I started using the beginner content on Link, that's lingq.com. Great website, I highly recommend it. It's been a tremendous help so far in my language learning. So during the month of January, primarily what I did is I started reading through those lessons on Link, that's listening as well as reading, starting to learn new words, learning beginner content. Once or twice I went and spoke to the lady in my building who's from the Czech Republic. She's one of the main reasons I've started to learn Czech this year to begin with. And also near the end of January, in the last few days, what I did is I booked some lessons on a website called italki. That's italki.com. And what you're able to do on italki is you're able to book half an hour, 45 minutes, an hour, whatever length of time with speakers. They don't have to be native speakers. I tend to look only for native speakers, but you're able to book sessions of time, and then they're essentially lessons. But there are different levels of people. There are some people that are professional teachers and some people who just speak the language and are trying to earn some income on the side. So I had 1 or 2 lessons in the end of January and a whole bunch of lessons booked for the month of February. So that is a great tool that I found, and I'm looking forward to having that throughout the rest of my language journey, not only for Czech but also for new languages. I think it's so important to be able to speak, but that's where I am for the first goal. I spent a lot of time working on Czech, not so much reviewing the other languages, but February, a lot happened in February for those goals. Second goal is to read more. January was a good month for this. I read 3 books. If I was prepared, I would have them here, but I read David and Goliath by Malcolm Gladwell. I read The Linguist by Steve Kaufman, and the third book that I read is called Traffic, Why We Drive the Way We Do and What It Says About Us by Thomas Vanderbilt. I believe all 3 of those were great books. I think that pace is a little slow. If I were to read 3 books a month, I would be at 36 books by the end of the year. I'm hoping to get to at least 50 this year. I don't know if that'll be possible, but that's the goal, is to get to 50 books read throughout this year. I might do a second set of videos where I just talk about the books and outline some of my thoughts, but I'm not sure if that will happen. I think the most important thing is just to read the books. So as I said, 3 books read in January. Highly enjoyed them. They're very different lengths. The Linguist was about 150 pages, and David and Goliath, I believe, 400, and Traffic was 700 or so pages, so widely varying lengths. Normally what I was doing is just reading a chapter before bed every day, so that's a great way to make sure I'm getting in my reading, and roughly it's about a book a week, depending on if they're slightly longer or slightly shorter. But again, great progress, phenomenal progress. In 2016, upon looking back, I didn't do a lot of reading, and as I said, that's something I hope to change for this year in 2017. The third goal, or the third resolution, was to run more. That hasn't happened in the slightest. I went running for 1 day in January. That was near the end of January when I was looking through my resolutions, and I said, oh no, I haven't been running. I primarily attribute that to priorities, right? The top thing on my priority list right now is learning Czech. Below that comes reading, and unfortunately running is even further down the list. Now, something to consider is I might be able to listen to Czech or listen to any language in podcast form while I run. Typically I just listen to some music, but it might be more productive, and I might be able to knock 2 of these things off at once by listening to that, or even audiobooks are another option to listen to but unfortunately not a lot of progress, almost none, in terms of running during the month of January. I still think it's an important goal. I do need to become more active and I do need to exercise more. So this definitely, I hope to turn this around during the upcoming months, but during the month of January, nothing happened in that front. The fourth one, CoOp. CoOp is going well so far. The resolution was just to see how CoOp goes, learn from it, and January was a good month. January had a lot of training, a lot of learning for me. The systems that we're using, the words that are being said, the acronyms we have, it's a whole lot of learning, learning the lingo, learning the process, but the company I'm working at is absolutely phenomenal. I think it's just a great company, very team focused, the atmosphere is great. We go for team lunches every week on Wednesdays, and I think that is a great opportunity for us to grow and bond as a team and really get to know one another. So that's great. Just want to make sure I don't have any other notes here. Yeah, it's a very different atmosphere from what I had anticipated, what I was expecting. It's very team focused. I would say it's a low pressure environment. I'm never worried about if I make a mistake, for example, am I going to get fired? I think it's understood that all of us are learning and we have a long ways to go, and where we'll be one day is not necessarily where we are today. We have a long way to go, lots of growing that needs to get done, but I'm very happy with that, very happy with my co-op and all that happened during the month of January. Fifth is focus on studying for school. Obviously I'm on co-op right now, so the school isn't happening. My plan, what I'm hoping to do, is start looking through watching Calculus 3 videos online or some other courses, just to start learning the material. I'm not taking a course or anything during the semester, but having that knowledge, having started that, will most definitely help give me a little bit of a leg up on the material once it's presented in the spring term. But my goal of learning or taking a course or things like that, none of that's happening. So for the most part, this goal is on hiatus, focusing on my schoolwork, simply because I'm on the co-op term. And finally, my last goal is just continue to stay involved within the Laurier community. This has been done. I'm still volunteering on the emergency response team at Laurier as a general member, so I shift on average once a week. Every once in a while I have an overnight shift on the weekend, help out at special events, attend meetings every other week. So a lot of what's been going on is the same as what was going on last year, same time commitment, couple hours each week of the shifts, and then attend meetings and training, all of these things. Also, with the emergency response team, we have an inner tube water polo team, so I'm on that. This semester, our games have not been going as well. Last semester, we had a team and we won. We were first in our division. We were undefeated in our division. This semester, it does not look like we will have the same performance. Right off the bat, we lost our game. We lost our first game, so we won't be undefeated. So we won't be undefeated, and at the same time, it doesn't look like we are set to win the championship, but who knows? There's lots of time for things to turn around. One of the biggest issues is lack of participants. So every week at the game, we barely meet the numbers that we need to have. You need 2 guys and 2 girls on the field or in the water, and some weeks we barely have that. We're struggling to get 2 of either gender. So I'm staying involved, volunteering with the emergency response team, playing on the inner tube water polo team. I also help out with the Double Degree Club as their webmaster. So I am getting involved, I am helping out, but I'm hoping to look for opportunities, further opportunities to get involved, and we'll see what happens throughout the rest of the year. I think this semester, especially while I'm on co-op, I'll be less involved, but that definitely I want to change that in the summer months when there will be fewer people on campus, so I think it's important to stay involved. And as always, in the fall term, when new people come to school, things start up again, the fall semester is a great opportunity, a great time to get involved. So that's the quick update on all 6 resolutions here. I like this format of just sitting and talking to the camera. Last year I was trying to write a review every month. I may transcribe these, but I find it a lot easier to just sit and talk as opposed to having to type. And as well, I'm making these videos for Czech, so I'm familiar with the process of filming and then just uploading right to the computer, right to YouTube. So that's the update for January. As I said, it is late. We're nearing the end of February here, and in a few days I'll have the February update. But overall, January was a good month, a good start to the year. There are still avenues and paths that I need to continue down. Running, most definitely, and even reading, I want to step that up. But language learning Czech was my primary focus, and I think that'll be the primary thing that I'll be focusing on this year. And that goal is coming along beautifully. I'm very happy with the progress. So in your time, you'll probably see me in another few days when I'll do the February update. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!